Man, we got him around. OG Silverback here. Hey guys, and this is one of the first days where I feel my power and energy's coming back. I'm not quite as congested. Been taking my NyQuil, DayQuil, Mucinex, stuff of that nature. So I'm really starting to get in front of this thing, man. And then the weather's been lightening up for me, so now it's in the 40s. It was in the 20s, so that's a good thing. As you can see, I'm not quite as bundled up. I'm not quite as congested. I'm not coughing, at least. So while there's no victory and glory, you know what I mean, I'm on a positive trajectory to get my energy back. So I wanted to address a couple of people talking about, hey, LG, will we get back your energetic videos, man? Well, first of all, you know, I'm under the weather. And secondly, dude, I'm at my mom's house, man. I can't. See, this is what you got to understand, dude, about social acuity, man, and emotional intelligence, right? And social intelligence. You have to act according to the environment, man. I can't be straight savage beast mode in my sick mom's house, dude. Like, I don't know. I think some of you guys, man, your maturity level, dude. Like, I understand you might be a teenager or a young dude, never been anywhere, but you have to start thinking outside the box and think. There's a word that's called compassion. You think to yourself, what would I do or how would I be if I was in that person's shoes? It's called empathy, dude. So if you're fortunate that your parents aren't sick and you got both your parents, and it counts your blessings. But let's say you're living with an elderly person and they're sick, or let's say you visit your grandma, you can't be savage, dude, in their house, man. And then that's the brux of it. So when I do have the opportunity to get back to some high energy stuff, it probably won't be here. That's very disrespectful. So I want to get into the topic of today's video, man. But before I get into that, the last couple of days I had the pleasure to get to see two of my brother's kids and my sister's kids. So my family members are dispersed all over the eastern seaboard, from Pittsburgh to Philly to New York to New Jersey to Florida to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. That's all the eastern seaboard. That's just how they roll. So the ones that are able to have come into town, I got some pictures, guys, I'm going to put in my community tab for those of you who are interested. And it was just a good experience, but as I pointed out to you guys, I only come back east in periods of, 5 or 10 year periods, just because I'm not trying to be locked under the prison. It's just the mentality of East Coast men, and let's just say East Coast people in general. I don't like the aggressive vibe, dude, and I'm not being prejudiced or anything like that, judgmental. I'm just on the laid back vibe, dude. I'm on a whole nother paradigm, dude. I'm just looking to sail into the sunset, be one of them dudes on the flying carpet, levitating, dude, with an aura around me, man, going to a higher vibration of love and peace and tranquility, man. In this life, I remember when I was chasing money, dude, and I thought that would make me happy. I'm here to tell you, money can only give you a certain level of happiness. I'm not saying it can't bring you happiness, but peace and tranquility is a whole nother level, man. So that's where I'm on. So I just wanted to tell you guys that, but without further ado, I'm getting to top of today's video, which is, this is what happens to you in maximum security prison when you refuse a mission, dude. So first, let me tell you what a mission is. A mission is for you guys who, for safety or for protection or just to go along, to get along. You join a gang, whether you join an official gang or you ride with your people or you ride with a clique or a set or a hood. And you're not a lone wolf like me. I understand everybody doesn't have my background or my experiences to ride by themselves. A lot of people, heck, aren't even comfortable being alone by themselves or with themselves. So I understand. I'm not judgmental anymore, but I'm just sharing with you. There's pros and cons of joining a gang and riding with your people. Whatever youngsters want to say in the comments, dude, ride with your people is joining a gang. It's an organized group of individuals who have a collective consciousness to protect each other from the wolves and the predators and the lions and tigers and bears and gorillas and savages, because they don't have the necessary mentality or skill set to survive in the concrete jungle, the belly of the beast on their own. And it's okay, man. You know, everybody's on a whole different format, you know what I mean? So I understand, but what this video is about is to show you the pros and the cons. So here's what happens. Whether you join a gang or an organization or your people or your set or your hood or your clique, whatever you want to call it, there are dues to be paid. What does that mean? There's no free rides in prison, bro. None. So when you join a group or a gang or organization, in order to pay for their protection, their collective consciousness of protection, you, my friend, have to do what you're asked to do. You have chores and tasks and duties. And some of those duties and chores and tasks may be cleanup, meaning if you guys have been following my channel for a while, I had collaborated with some Northern Blood gang members, and we did a video about when you have to do a removal of your people, like say your people, somebody in your group comes down with some bad paperwork, or they do something unscrupulous, like, you know, they rob another gang or something without approval, or let's say you're the kind of group that you say you don't allow homosexuality, dude gets caught, whatever the case may be, and he's got to be removed from the yard or from the group or the organization or the unit. You being the new dude in the group or the gang or the organization, you're going to be tasked with taking the candy bar and you're going to be tasked with taking the candy bar, dude, and putting in the work. So here's the problem I want to share this with you. Here's the problem that a lot of youngsters don't understand, and I want to make this clear. Going to maximum security prison is like falling into a pit of quicksand. What does that mean? It's easy to get in, but hard to get out, dude. There are a lot of people, I know a lot. I would say, man, like, let me be honest here. I would say like 60% of the dudes that go into maximum security prison don't make it out, whether they get smoked or they get more time or they get a life sentence. Dude, it's a quagmire, man. And so one of the problems is when you join these groups or gangs or organizations or cliques or sets or hoods, whatever you want to call it, right, with your people, there's always some duties and tasks that you will perform. And whenever you have to perform one of these duties or tasks, whether it's doing a yard removal, carrying some drugs, man, doing some gambling, dude, stealing stuff from the kitchen for the shot caller, you know, roughing up somebody that owes money, putting money on somebody's books. Just so you guys know, that's illegal. You're not one inmate is not allowed to put money onto another inmate's books, even if you do it through your family members. They don't play that. So you're doing these illegal activities are these activities that are required from you to maintain a good standing with your group or set or hood or gang or whatever around with your people. And if you get caught, my friend, you're going to get more time. So you have to weigh the pros and cons of the return on your investment of energy to maintain good standings with your group or your gang or your set or your hood. So here's what it comes down to, man. When you look at it, you have to say to yourself, how much time do you have to do? And then if you get caught doing this particular task, how much time could you possibly get if you get caught doing it? And then will your points go higher? Will you have to go to a higher level? You're not going to be in a protected class. And last but not least, you know, what will happen if you don't do it? And so this is what I want to focus on this video. what happens if you don't do whatever you're tasked to do? If you don't do it, what you're asked to do will be done to you. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's start with something that's very easy. A yard removal. A yard removal doesn't require you to unalive anybody or take somebody's life or anything. You just got to rough them up, put a couple holes in them, you know what I'm saying? Let them feel the pain, because that's still your people, but they're being punished. They're being removed from the yard. So let's say you do a yard removal and you break a dude's jaw, or you broke a dude's arm, or you get caught stabbing a dude. In maximum security prison, you get caught with a manufactured. You get caught with a manufactured weapon. You get a year for the actual weapon itself, and then you get another year for the manufacturing, because they're going to say, well, you must have made the weapon. So you get a year for the weapon, and you get a year for the manufacturer. It's 2 years. And then you go into the shoe for 90 days. And then it's going to be put on your jacket that you manufacture illegal weapons in prison. And then you're going to get assault. And then you might get attempted murder. See, you don't know how the administration's feeling. See, I'm trying to share you youngsters what your OGs aren't telling you. Your homies, right? You get love from the homies. They're not telling you the full truth. So you might get attempted murder, or great bodily harm, disfigurement. Like, I don't know where you're going to stab the dude. Say he's fighting back, you stab him in his eye, you remove his eye. Like, there's a lot of variables that happen in maximum security prison. It's not like a movie. It's not scripted out. When you fight another grown man, or you attack another grown man, and it's two animals, you ever see two animals fight? It's very nasty, and it's unscripted, right? It's very volatile. So you know how the guy's going to react. So maybe he's fighting back. You accidentally stab him in his eye when you meant to just like poke him in the side. I don't know. So you got to look into all those factors. So let's say, you get the lesser of the charges. You get a weapon, 1 year for weapon, another year for manufacturing, assault on the inmate, great bodily injury. Let's say you get another 5 years tacked onto your sentence. So you're like, oh, gee, with good time, I'm only going to do 2.5. Okay, that's good. But then your points are going to go up. You're going to go to a higher level of prison, right? So let's take it to another level. That was the worst. That was the best case scenario. Let's take it to the worst case scenario. Let's say you're in a car that doesn't believe in chomos, or child molesters, right? Or rapists, which is it's a hypocrisy to me, because when you got a young dude in there who's 15, 16, 14 or 15 or 16, he's still a minor, and your own people are going up in your cheeks. That's child molestation. That's great, right? But they got, they bend the rules, dude, to keep moving the goalposts. But let's say they say to you, hey, youngster, the dude that's getting off the bus, man, he's a child, he's a chomo, man, and we want you to go ahead, man, and take him out, man, because, dude, he's a repeat offender. He keeps beating Megan's Law. But now that he's in here, dude, we're going to make sure that he never gets out again. And you're tasked with that. So they pass you the candy bar. You had it in your hand. And you're nervous, dude. And you don't plan it out because they tell you to get it done. And you go up to the dude and you wicka, 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 wicka. If you don't know what wicka, 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 wicka means, Google Troy Kelly murder on YouTube. He's a savage, man. You just wicka, 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 and the dude's leaking. And say you don't get away with it. Say you get caught. Now you got a fucking 187 murder in maximum security prison. You're going to get life in prison. And then it's a wash. So then the cycle repeats itself. You're now going to become predator on the younger prey that come in. See, this is the problem. It's a cycling, it's a revolving door. The youngsters come in, get traumatized, sexually abused, beat up, put on stupid ass missions. They kill people, become lifers. Now they prey on the youngsters that's coming in, and it's a vicious cycle. That's why I say, first of all, don't go to prison. Like, square up. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Secondly, if you do go to prison, man, don't join the gang. And let's just say you are in the gang. I would just tell you to fucking decommission. Fuck that shit, man. And just, you still the consequences, because at some point I was telling some of my brother's kids, man, like, what has led you up to this point? Has you involved in gang activity and selling drugs, dude, and running that street life? Take it from your OG uncle. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth, man. What you must do is do an immediate about face, a total 180-degree turn, and go the opposite direction. So if you're a gangster, gangbanger, drug dealer, murderer, robber, kidnapper, jacker, then turn around and become Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, the Pope, whatever you got to become, dude, to go the opposite direction, because that's the only way you're going to save your life, dude, and not waste your youth in maximum security prison. So the moral of the story is, guys, in maximum security prison, whatever mission you refuse, whatever the mission is, the same thing is going to be done to you. So how do you avoid this, guys? Number one, don't go to prison. Number two, if you do go to prison, don't join a gang. Number three, if you are in a gang, decommission. And number four, dude, if you're in one of these unfortunate situations, like you're a Sereno or Norteño and the rest of Familia, Mexican Mafia, one of these deep-rooted gangs, man, with generations and generations, then you're going to have to PC up. So if you guys like the realness and the rawness and the authenticity, the educational value of why you should become a square, geeky, nerdy dude, a dude that women say are corny, you got longevity, because it's not the hare that wins the race, but the turtle, because he's slow and steady. It's better to live a life of quiet desperation than to live the life of a flaring nova and burn out and get locked up in maximum security prison for the rest of your life. So if you like the honesty of the content, man, thumbs up the video, leave a comment for the algorithm, man, and more importantly, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and then share the channel. So until next time, guys, OG Silverback.